Now we have access to the Power Apps interface. Let's take a look and understand it a little bit better. First, let's go to the home part of the interface. And here we can see the home interface. This is constantly changing, so you may see something a little different. But the idea will be the same. For example, to show that this is constantly changing, today that I'm recording this video to update the course, we have this toggle here in the top saying try the new Power Apps experience. And if we toggle it on, we can see that things already change. We have this tool that they are implementing that's called plans, where you can type and plan an app construction. This will guide you through what you have to do to implement that solution. It will provide a description of the user roles, suggests tables, and suggests even apps and automations. But we are not going to use this right now. And first of all, I want you to understand the basics, the mechanics of creating an app without all this AI help. So once you have access to the AI, you know what you're doing, and you can adjust the generated results to your needs. I'm going to keep this new Power Apps experience. It doesn't matter. It just has a different visual, but everything will be here in the same way. Then we have the Create tab. And here we can create our app. We can create a blank app, or we can choose several data sources or resources such as images or Figma layouts to start from. Usually what I do is I create a blank app and then I start building. But we also have these options that you can connect to a data source and have the first version of an app created for you. If you click in the blank app, we see that we have three types of Power Apps. One that's the Canvas app, then the blank app based on Dataverse, that's called the model-driven app, and then Power Pages sites, that are sites that people can use to interact with your company's data. We are focusing on Canvas app. That's the one that you can create and drag and drop controls to create the interface you need to share with your colleagues. We are not creating it right now, we are first going to explore the interface, but just know that if you click here on Create, you will have this pop-up to give an app name and choose the format, if it's tablet or phone. Let's cancel and see the next parts. We have the Learn tab. Here we have learning resources that will connect to the Microsoft documentation. For example, if I want to learn how to customize a Canvas app in Power Apps, I can click here and I will be taken to the learn.microsoft.com, where we have several modules teaching how to do stuff. This is a very good resource and very important to follow because it's constantly updated and we have the best practice recommended by Microsoft. Going back, we have then the plans. Here we can create a plan where we can describe our project and the AI will generate a lot of cool stuff here to guide us on this development. As we can see, it's still in preview, it's not ready for production, which means it's not ready for general use on very serious applications. Then we have the apps, and here we can see the list of my apps, apps that are shared with me, and also all the apps on my company. Of course, only the apps that I can view, because some apps are private, people just created and didn't share with me. Here we also have the option to create a new app and different options. We can start with a copilot, that's an AI. We can start connecting to the data. We can start with a page design, that's basically building a blank app, and start with an app template. If I click, for example, start with a page design, then here we have a couple of designs that are predefined to help us create our app. Usually, if I use this option, I just go to blank canvas, and here we can select the formats between tablet or phone. Going back, we also have app templates. Start with an app template. And here we can connect to different data sources. And as we can see, these templates are only for mobile apps, so it will assume the mobile formats. And we also have other templates that are sample apps. So we have a couple of sample apps that you can click and you can create a new app and see how it's done so you can use it to learn. We can also click on Preview App, for example, and the app will play, and here we will have an example of a Canvas app. Sometimes they may not work. For example, this one that I selected is not working anymore because it's an old version. Since Microsoft always updating, that app is outdated. But I tested this health plan selector, and this one I saw working just yesterday. So let's see. See, here we have an example of a Canvas app just showing what's possible to do. Now let's go back, and we have other stuff here. AI Hub, tables, flows, solutions, connectors. If I click on more, we have a lot of other things in here. The platform is very big, and we can create a lot of things that are not on the scope of this lesson. As I always say, there is a world inside this platform. That's a lot to learn. And we should start somewhere. Let's start with Power Apps. One last thing to mention is that we have the concept of environments. By default, everyone has access to the default environment of the company. Here is where everyone can create their productivity apps that are going to help them on their daily tasks. That's what we are going to learn here in the course. But imagine you become a very good Power Apps developer and you're going to develop an app for an entire department, something that's mission critical. Then your company may create a separate environment so you can build your entire solution inside that environment that's more controlled. For example, they can give access just to the people who need to use the app. I'm just explaining this so you know that this concept exists and may appear in the future. In the next lesson, let's create a blank app and explore the creation interface.